St. John Integral Education Center, Seeds of Hope. Some people overseas don't even know about the existence of a small country with about 20 million inhabitants called Malawi. It is said that Malawi is one of the world's poorest countries in the world and has a life expectancy of slightly above 60 years. Its size is about 118,000 square kilometers. Malawi has 28 districts. One of them is Mangochi district, where St. John Integral Education Center is situated at a distance of about 12 kilometers from Mangochi town, near Lake Malombe. The following charitable works have been initiated by Reverend Father Joseph Kimu of the Diocese of Mangochi. There are about 20 charitable projects which are running under St. John Integral Education Center, serving a population of about 120,000 people. Reverend Father Joseph Kimu was ordained a priest on July 27, 1985, by the late Bishop Alessandro Asolal, Bishop Emeritus of Diocese of Mangochi in Malawi. The purpose of this documentary, which is titled Seeds of Hope, is aimed at thanking friends and benefactors who have collaborated with him in sowing the seeds of hope in the lives of many needy people, especially children and young people, during the 40 years he has been a priest.
I am Father Joseph Kimu, a priest from the Diocese of Mangochi in Malawi, Africa. I greet all of you who are going to watch this documentary. As you will see in this documentary, there are so many projects, about 20, in favor of so many poor people, especially children. All these activities which you will view in this documentary have been made possible because of the sacrifices of so many people, especially outside Malawi. So many people who have helped in these projects are not rich at all. Most of them are middle class, and I can personally testify that some of them are very, very poor in their society. But they made all those sacrifices in order to give hope to some poor child in Malawi. Yes, to give hope to some sick person, HIV patients in Malawi, and indeed to give hope to an old and lonely person in Malawi. They created a space in their heart and forgot their own comfort in order to share what God had given them with a person in need. As you watch this video documentary, I would like to ask you to help me thank all those people who have participated in the realization of these projects. As I celebrate my 40th anniversary of ordination to the priesthood, I would like to thank all of you for being our hands of the divine providence. Please enjoy watching the documentary.
Now, for a long period, Father Joseph Kim has worked in the field of formation and teaching. Because of his experience, one of his major interests is the sector of education, teaching, and formation. With time, he got more and more convinced that one of the reasons for poverty in Malawi is ignorance due to lack of education and learning. Once he read these inspiring words on a notice board in front of a church, education is a fight against hunger because it teaches to work. Education is a fight against disease because it teaches hygiene and prevention. Education is a fight against injustice because it enlightens the conscience. During the 40 years he has been a priest, he has always been struck by the low rate of literacy of the area where he ministers. Men and women, boys and girls of the 25 villages that benefit from the different projects that have been initiated hardly know how to read and write. They mainly belong to Yao tribe, whose people historically never took interest in sending their children to school. Partly because they live along the lake and find it easier and profitable to go fishing than to go to school. Culturally, the population of Mangochi district is predominantly Yao by tribe. Generally, The Yao people embrace negative cultural practices, which lead to early withdrawal of girls from secondary school and subsequently engage in early marriages, exposing them to HIV and AIDS and early child pregnancies and childbearing that distract them from proceeding with their education. The following are projects that Father Joseph Kim initiated. 1. St. John Primary School. St. John Primary School was the first project Father Kim initiated in Jimala area in 1997. At St. John Primary School, children from the area attend 8 years of primary school, which prepares them for secondary education and thereafter to university. Since 1994, in Malawi, children can attend primary schools for free without paying school fees. The primary school teachers are paid by the government. The church puts up the structures and maintains them. School children have to provide for themselves school uniform, books, exercise books, and other learning materials. With the help of some friends and benefactors, the school manages to buy the necessary things like books, pens, or soap for them so they don't have to be ashamed to come to school. Proudly, it has been noted that many children who attend this primary school have been chosen to proceed further and enter Malawi's different secondary or high schools. 2. St. John Nursery School. After having built the St. John Primary School, Rev. Father Joseph Kim realized that there was a need for a nursery school. It is attended by children at the age between 3 and 5 years, coming from 25 villages around the campus. Every morning, the drivers go to the villages to collect the children by bus and bring them back in the afternoon to their villages. At St. John Nursery School, there are about 600 children registered. The St. John Nursery School is one of the few schools which offers preschool education for free. As the parents don't have to pay for the education of their children, they are asked to make a little symbolic contribution of about $1 per month to contribute to the fuel of the school bus. Running a nursery school with so many kids for free is a very big commitment that calls for a strong belief in the divine providence. It's easier for those who have attended the nursery school to perform well at primary school level. 3. Bishop Asolali Nursery School at Kausi. It is a nursery school that was built with the help of the staff of the then Banca Popolare di Bergamo in Italy in memory of Bishop Alessandro Asolali, who was the first bishop of the Diocese of Mangochi. He was Bishop of Mangochi for about 35 years, and during these years, he worked so much in the establishment of many education and health centers. Bishop Asolali Nursery School was officially opened on June 14, 2007. It is attended by children of Kausi area and the surrounding villages. At Bishop Asolali Nursery School, there are about 400 children registered. Like St. John Nursery School, this one also falls under the management of St. John Integral Education Center. Both of the nursery schools are open to all children in the area, regardless of their cultural, religious, or tribal background. Since the number of children who attend this nursery school is growing every year, there is need for funds to build new classrooms, teachers' houses, and bakery plant. 4. Animal Farm. At St. John Integral Education Center, animal husbandry forms an important part of the institution's integrated approach to learning and self-sustainability. The school keeps both cattle and goats, which contribute a lot to nutrition of the children at the center. The beef of the cattle supplements the menu for the 2 nursery, primary, and secondary school students. Milk is used to enrich tea and porridge served at breakfasts, ensuring a nourishing start to their day. 5. Assistance to old and sick people.
For many years now, climatic changes have affected food sustainability in the area. Storms, droughts, and cyclones have caused a lot of suffering to many people around the area. As a result, many people come to the Father's residence to ask for food and other necessities. Confronted with such terrible cases, it is difficult to just dismiss them with comforting words. No, not at all. A little help always makes a difference in the lives of people suffering from extreme poverty.
6. Distant adoption for poor and orphaned children.
Father Joseph Kimu is a fruit of distant adoption. At the age of 10, Reverend Father Alessandro Assolari, who later became the Bishop of Mangochi Diocese, encouraged him to go to school. He found a poor family in a village called Aviatico in Bergamo, in Italy, that helped in paying his school fees in form of distant adoption. The family accompanied him for 18 years until he became a priest at the age of 28 years. St. John Integral Education Center has also for some time adopted this form of sponsoring the education needs of the poor and orphaned children, and helped thousands of children and young people get educated. The annual contribution is €365 or €1 per day. But in the recent years, this form of distant adoption has become less and less popular.
7. St. John Guest House. The St. John Guest House was built with the aim of giving hospitality in a well-equipped and adequate home to the friends and benefactors who support the projects when they want to come to work as volunteers for a short or a longer period of time, or to the people who just want to come and visit the St. John Integral Education Center or want to spend some holidays or time to rest and relax. It is also an income-generating project for the purpose of supporting all other charitable projects, especially the children of the nursery schools. With global financial crisis, it is getting more and more difficult to find help and support from people. It is often sought after here. Up to now, people who have visited this guest house have been very satisfied with the services and have always expressed their gratitude, especially for the family spirit they experienced during their stay there. 8. St. John Primary Boarding School for Girls. This recent project is in favor of girl child education. The buildings of St. John Girls Boarding Primary School can accommodate about 300 girls aged between 8 and 13 years. The idea to construct girls' boarding school was born when it was noted that about 100 girls have graduated from our nursery schools and only 4 managed to complete the 8 years of primary school. By doing so, poor girls would be prevented from getting involved in early marriages and practices. Moreover, the girls would be able to study in favorable surroundings without many distractions to which young girls are prone. A complete compound will include the building of the hostels, classrooms, dining room, multipurpose hall, administration block, library block, brick fence, house for the guards, sisters convent, ablution block, matron house, and staff houses. This project has also, among other things, eradicated the lack of sufficient primary schools in Chimala area. 9. St. John Girls Secondary School. St. John Girls Secondary School was inaugurated on 12 October 2020 as a sister school of St. John Girls Primary School.
Maintain your position.
Land of Malawi, keep it a land of peace. Put out each and every enemy, hunger, disease, envy.
Having seen that many parents of the girls who completed primary school education at St. John Girls Primary School preferred to let their child continue their secondary education in a similar environment, we decided to pursue the dream. Unfortunately, we had no funds, so we borrowed some facilities of the Women's Promotion Project, and with 2 first classes of secondary school education, always trusting in divine providence. We need more funds to put up more classrooms, a hall, a refectory, an administration block, and many other essential structures. The motto of St. John Girls Secondary School is Integral Education for Girls. In addition to focusing on students' academic and moral formation, the school also pays close attention to the well-being of its teacher staff. Decent and well-constructed houses have been built for the teachers, offering a comfortable and secure living environment within the school premises. This not only reflects to the school's commitment to dignity and care of its staff, but also contributes to the teacher motivation and stability, which ultimately enhances the quality of education provided. 10. Construction of boreholes in memory of Bishop Alessandro Assolali. On April 13, 2005, the Lord called Bishop Alessandro Assolali in his kingdom. Bishop Assolali spent 51 years of his life in Africa, the first 6 in Madagascar and then in Malawi. For all of us, and especially for the poor, water means life. Reverend Father Joseph Kimu would like to remember Bishop Assolali in Africa by giving life to many poor people of Mangochi diocese who cannot get potable drinking water through the construction of boreholes with hand pumps. These boreholes are dug in the poor communities in the villages around St. John Integral Education Center. (11) Houses for victims of Cyclone Freddy. A couple of years ago, our area was hit by Cyclone Freddy. It destroyed many houses and property. When our center did a needs assessment, it identified 104 very poor and desperate families. For 3 months, these families were given full and complete support in form of food and other necessities. We are still accompanying these families, but now concentrating on providing shelter by building small houses for them. Up to date, we have built about 20 houses for Cyclone Freddy victims. Our prayer is to get more sponsors to build the houses for the remaining families. 12. Chimanga Maize Project. Malawi's economy depends on agriculture, but the activities depend on weather. Too much rain, too little rain, either can spell disaster. The Chimanga project started in 2005 with an initial help which we received through friends mainly from Paratico near Brescia in Italy. We teach families new ways of growing crops, new system of cultivating the land. It is a very important and necessary project because its goal is to empower families through lessons in agriculture, in class, but above all in the fields where they can learn new ways and systems of growing crops and cultivating the land so as to solve the problem of famine and hunger, which often strikes this region's population. 13. Treadle Pump for Irrigation Project. It is a marvelous project connected with the Chimanga Maize Project. It seems absurd that in a country surrounded by lakes and rivers, people should speak of hunger. Thanks to the families like the Kemes from Colorado in the USA and supporters from Italy and Singapore, we have been able to provide treadle pumps to poor families. Instead of one maize harvest a year, families can harvest 3 times a year. 14. Assistance to the needy students.
St. John Integral Education Center has a great number of students who attend different secondary schools, colleges, universities, whom school fees are paid for. While primary school education is free in Malawi, but secondary school education is very expensive. We have seen that only a limited number of families whose financial position is good can afford to help their children to proceed with secondary school education. St. John Integral Education Center helps about 200 students, girls training to become nurses, future teachers, those in technical colleges. We do this because our country badly needs well-trained people in every sector.
15. Assistance to the blind and the deaf children.
St. John Integral Education Center also takes care of about 20 blind and deaf children by paying their school fees and providing their necessities. This project has heavy financial implications. In that, we have to bring the children to their various schools by car and subsequently go to collect them during Christmas, Easter and summer holidays. This project also caters for 4 disabled boys and girls who also receive the same services as deaf and blind children.
16. Mains Meal. St. John Integral Education Center every day prepares food for about 1,500 people. Children from the 2 nursery schools, children from the primary school, and girls from the secondary school. Hence, we need a good maize meal to prepare maize flour for their food. On top of this, the 100 families that work in different departments of the center also use the same maize meal. 17. Fish ponds. In 2019, a fish farming project began, not just to generate income, but to provide protein to the nursery, primary, and secondary schools. Every Tuesday, our children and girls eat fish. We have so far constructed 12 large fish ponds of 20 by 30 meters. Each pond has about 3,000 fish. The sows will also help us in paying the school fees for the poor students in secondary schools, colleges, and universities. It also assists us in helping the many poor, old, and sick people whom we assist every day. 18. Banana Plantation Project.
The Banana Plantation Project was started at the end of 2019 as one of the income-generating projects to source funds to support the charitable projects of the center, but also to provide essential nutrients, vitamin B, vitamin C, and potassium. They are perfect for our children's development. We have 1,000 banana plants.
19. Solar Irrigation Project at Mkwanda Village. In 2023, Mkwanda Solar Irrigation Project was inaugurated. Thanks to Robert Garvey and his friends from USA who funded the project. The people of Mkwanda Village, some 20 kilometers from St. John Integral Education Center, benefited very much from this project by moving from treadle pump irrigation project to a better, faster, and more efficient way of cultivating their crops. They mainly cultivate maize and vegetables. Our prayer is to get more funds to extend this project to other villages. 20. Women Promotion Project. According to our survey, we discovered that about 95% of women who live in the villages around St. John Integral Center do not know how to write and read. Most of them have an average of 8 children per family, but staying without husbands. This is why it was decided to open the St. John Women Promotion and Adult Literacy Center to help many poor women. The purpose is to assist these women so that later they can become self-sufficient and be able to live independently and raise their numerous children without too much stress and unbearable difficulties. Some of the benefits those women get from the lessons at St. John Women Promotion and Adult Literacy Center are the following. The already aged women get a chance to learn how to read and write and make some small calculations. These women receive lessons about hygiene, health, and housekeeping for a better skill in children's education, family management, in the prevention of various diseases like diarrhea, cholera, but also HIV and AIDS. In the 4th year of their training, they get a microcredit to buy a sewing machine, which helps them to generate some funds at their villages. 21. Bakery. At 10 a.m. every morning, the girls from the primary and secondary schools go for tea break. In the past, the school used to offer only a cup of tea and the students would buy scones on their own. But we discovered that some poor students were not able to do this. So, to help the poor students as well, we decided to buy a bakery oven to give a scone to each student.
I feel so unsure as I take your hand.
As for the nursery school children, during break tea, they are provided with a nutritious soya porridge, which helps them a lot for their body building. 22. Giada Primary School. For many years, the people of Nkwanda village in Mangochi district had been appealing to St. John Integral Education Center to build them a primary school. The village has many children, but the nearest school is approximately 15 kilometers away, making access to education extremely difficult. During a visit to Nkwanda to inspect food security projects, a group of friends from an association called Empress Rusenberg heard the heartfelt cry of the villagers. Deeply moved, they returned to Rusenberg and began discussing ways to help the people of Nkwanda to build a primary school for their unprivileged children. Fortunately, they found a generous friend in Italy, Giovanni Peregrine of a company called Peregrine Trasporti. He founded the construction of the 2 classrooms, 2 teacher houses,
You to go to school. The time has come to get education.
toilet and a borehole, and provided 120 desks. The school, named Giada Primary School, officially opened in January 2025 with approximately 200 children aged between 5 to 7 years. Currently, it offers Standard 1 and Standard 2 classes and is staffed by 3 teachers. The number of children continues to grow, and there is now a pressing need to construct 6 small classrooms, provide additional desks, and build 7 more teacher houses.
To conclude, I would like to say that there are so many needs in our society here in Mangochi, and our dream is funds being available. We should be able to build a hospital for children, a technical school where young people can learn many skills. With the help of God, these dreams will certainly come true one day. The needs are very, very many. And what is done at St. John Integral Education Center in Mangochi is like a drop in the ocean. I like quoting Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who said, whatever we do is like a drop in the ocean, but if that drop misses from that ocean, it means something has missed. So whatever we have done so far is like a drop, and I thank you very much for being the hands of divine providence. And I would like to bless all of you. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you all, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Indeed, this is the God we serve. And in seeking happiness for others, you will find it too in return. Life is better when you are happy, but life is at its best when others are happy because of you. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Mother Teresa of Calcutta said, when you give for God's business, God will give for your business.